Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It is Migraine Strategy Call Day. I am Debbie Waidl. I am your functional migraine health coach specialist here to help you find a reduction in the severity, duration, and frequency of your migraines without having to use pills, quick fixes, having to search for things like rosemary and all the other, ideas that we all try to come up with to try to end our pain. We're here to talk about how we get you to the root cause of the problem so that you can stop using those things. All of those things are absolutely amazing as tools to help you while you're in pain and while you're working to get to that end freedom. But we want to give you that freedom of not having to do that anymore. And that's why we are here today. So we're here with a special guest today. Christine is joining us today. She is a Freedom from Migraine Method graduate and has actually just returned to us to work in our membership site for a while. So Christine, thank you for joining us today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Just so we all get to know Christine a little bit. Christine is a wife and a mom of 3 boys under 3. God bless you.
Oh, not under 3, but 3 boys.
I mean, I'm sorry, 3 boys under 10. I was thinking in my head under 10 and I said
Oh
it wrong, but still, God bless you anyway. 3 boys running around under 10. Christine works in HR as a recruiter and recently changed jobs to have a little bit more balance in your work and life. You like to work out. Another God bless you. I wish I liked to work out. I do, but I don't like it. You like to garden and do various crafts, which I think I've seen a few things that you've been doing on Facebook lately. You've been busy repainting some furniture pieces for fun and doing a lot of great stuff, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So you started the Freedom from Migraine Method, I think, with about 10 plus migraines per month and daily pain, still, some of that daily pain. And now you're down to 1 to 2 low-level migraines per month around your cycle. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So much better.
Amazing. And that's why you joined us again, for the membership site, is so that we can help you get to the end of those migraines that always are the last ones to go. Those ones around the cycle are always the most challenging and always the most difficult. So we're glad to have you back so we can work on that. All right, let's dive in. So today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about how the Freedom from Migraine Method was really different than, you said it was different than anything else you tried before. So can you explain to me and to everyone else who's watching what you meant by that, how it was different?
I think it was different because it's just a whole body approach, right? It wasn't just, oh, you have headaches, take medicine or avoid certain foods. It was really looking at just me overall as a person, like my well-being, my stress, my food, my sleep, like so many different pieces and how they all interact. And it wasn't medication, which is the main thing I was looking for, right? And that's, you don't find too many solutions that are non-medication for migraines.
Absolutely. And did you think, because I'm sure you did, like everyone else, you did the Dr. Google search, let me search for everything. Let me go in every group. Let me, see what I can find. Do you feel like that a lot of the searching you did, it was always like people were trying to tell you there was one answer, come do this because this is the one thing that's going to make it better.
Yeah. There's so many variations of that, right? So then it just starts to feel confusing and like there is, I don't know, at times you feel like there is no solution, right? And you even talk to doctors and it's like, this is just you and this is how it is. And here's some medication to get through it. So yeah, it felt like whatever you looked at, you would try a solution for a little bit, but not really successful.
Exactly. And I think we all, and I'm going to put myself right in this bucket with everybody else. When I had migraines, I think we all just really wish there was like this one thing we could find that was going to, really bring that pain relief. And I know that that's still true today because I don't know if you saw, Christine, but there was a post that was posted in the group this week on rosemary. And I love rosemary. And I'm actually really glad that the person posted that because first off, can be a great tool one of the tools to use to be able to help with overall healing in general. Is it going to get rid of our migraines? No. But can it be something to help with the healing process? Sure. But really the reason I love the post more was because this post has reached more women in this group than anything else that's ever been in here.
Wow.
That tells me something. That tells me that we're all still searching for that one fix, right? Because we talk about inflammation all the time, which you and I are going to talk about in just a second, and the threshold and all of these things that we can do. And people are reading them and learning, but when we pop something in there that looks like it's something fast and simple and quick, it really got everyone's attention. And unfortunately, Christine and I are here to tell you today, it doesn't work that way. But fortunately, we can tell you that there is a way that it does work, right? So there's the plus side to that. So how were you trying to end your pain before this approach? What were you trying to do?
I was taking a lot of medication, and I'm a person who doesn't really like to take medication. So I was trying to avoid prescriptions as much as I could. I was taking a lot of ibuprofen, trying just whatever at-home remedies you could just to kind of manage it. I was trying all sorts of sinus medicines, Excedrin, a ton of over-the-counter stuff. And then eventually I did go to a neurologist, went for an MRI, the whole thing to figure out what's going on in your head. And then I got prescribed sort of a extra strength ibuprofen and some sumatriptans. So I started taking those and then got into a cycle where I needed stronger and they weren't working and I needed more or something different. And I think at the point that I found you and the Women's Migraine Freedom Group, I had a prescription in hand for like a daily preventative, right? And I knew I'm reading about the medicines and I've done a lot of research on what my options were in terms of that. And I knew it's just not the route I wanted to go, because I felt like once I got on something, how was I going to get off it? I know that you can now, but I didn't even want to start. And then I found your group and I had a call with you probably within the first week of finding that group. And I was like, I need to try something else.
Yeah. You were ready.
So,
you were ready.
Yeah. It's so painful. Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. And I think everyone, anyone that's watching it now or on the replay, and do me a favor, if you're watching now, let me know where you're watching from and how you're doing. And if you're watching the replay, just give us a hashtag replay and let us know you're watching on the replay. But I think so many of us don't realize that medication doesn't have to be a life sentence, and that it's not evil, right? We're not saying medication is evil, but what we are saying is when you get put on these meds, we should really be focusing on how we can get off of them. The minute we get on them, what do we need to do to get off of them? And you were taking some massive amounts of ibuprofen, as I remember, the dosage was huge. And we know how much that can affect the kidneys and the liver. But so by the time you did get to us, you were a quick action person. And as I was going to say, I want everyone to know that there's a right and a wrong time for everyone to work on their migraine freedom. I know everyone wants to be pain-free, but I think it's absolutely great if there's people that are just joining now and you need to look around the group and check things out and see what it's all about, because we are a different group. We are 100% unique than anything out there that you're going to find, because this isn't about what medication cocktail you're going to take to end your pain. Because we talk a lot about inflammation and threshold, which kind of leads me to my next question. Before you had come into this group, Christine, did you hear a lot about inflammation and threshold and how that impacted your migraines?
Not really. I knew inflammation was a thing in your body, right? But I never really connected that to why I was having migraines. You hear more about trigger foods, right? Or just triggers in general. So I didn't really connect that to inflammation. Now I understand how everything works, right? But no, I didn't realize my whole body was inflamed, right? I was waking up not even just with this aching head pain, but just my body hurt, right? I just didn't feel great every morning. I just felt you feel miserable.
Absolutely. And that's one of my questions that I really ask most women now, instead of saying, how many days a month do you have pain? When I jump on a call and we chat about how we can help them, It's how many days do you actually feel good? You know, how many days do you wake up saying, I feel like Debbie, I feel like the Debbie I want to be, or I feel like the Christine I want to be. And sadly, most of these women can't even tell me one. You know, the majority of women will say, well, if you look at it that way, no, you know, I may only get migraines, and I shouldn't ever say the word only, but I get migraines 5 days a month, or I get migraines 10 days a month, which so many women do say only. That's why I say it, because they're like, well, it's not every day. We normalize our pain, right? But then when we look at all the other symptoms of tiredness, achiness, brain fog, you know, gut issues and all that, you start adding that up. If you don't feel good any days of the year, you know, that is definitely something we have to work on. So yes, we talk a lot about inflammation in the group and threshold, which, you know, I'm glad that you mentioned that you really don't hear a lot about it till you get here, because again, this does show what makes us a little bit different than talking about meds, because it's important to bring that inflammatory load down so that you can have that overall health. And to that point, if anyone's watching now, I really need to pull this up. My apologies for not pulling this up ahead of time to be watching comments, because I'm not sure if Barbie's on the other end. Let's double check in here and see if Barbie's on the other end before I go. Yes, she is. Barbie says hi. Amber's watching. Catherine's watching. Wanda, Lynn, amazing. Let me just get my headphones, since I touched my phone. Of course, now it just disconnected you. Technical difficulties, everybody. Hang in there 1 second and I'll be right back. I know you can hear me, but I can't hear Christine. So I gotta pop myself back on my headphones. Everybody hang in there 1 second. Okay, there we go. So if you have not done the migraine sensitivity scorecard yet, please let Barbie know right now in the comments so that we can make sure we get that to you, because it really will help us get a good idea and help you understand where you are and how much inflammation you have in your body, so that you know how much that is triggering migraines. Because I think, as you know, Christine said, it's going to be something that really surprises you. Do you feel really right now, Christine, that your overall body is just a lot less inflamed than when you started?
Oh yeah. And I can just tell when something's off now. Like I can trace it back to a night of bad sleep or stress, or, oh yeah, you ate too many carbs the other, you know, like I can tell when I'm just slightly off. And I know like that's inflammation, and I know like I understand how the threshold works now, right? And I just know like, oh, you pushed it too far, right? So now let's kind of take it back. So yeah, I can totally just tell how my body reacts to certain food situations, whatever it is.
I love it. So you've actually kind of learned your body's language, which is really important. I think when we are in a state of disease, in a state where we don't feel well and we have migraines, we kind of do take for granted that everything that we're feeling is, we just like start normalizing it. So we don't listen to those signals. But once you start feeling better, you know, and I'm sure you notice this, Christine, as soon as you start getting those, a lot of good days and a lot of days of feeling better, when your body gives you a symptom, it almost feels like your body's yelling at you.
Yeah.
You hear it loud and clear and you're like, okay, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I did something that wasn't right, or something that, you know, my body's not liking now. So let me back off and figure out what that is. And that's the way it's supposed to be, because our body can't speak English. Our body speaks through symptoms, and we just need to be there to listen. And this is another part of the problem with medication, you know, because in the past, you and I both would pop those Advil, pop the sumatriptan, whatever it was, and we'd cover up our body like putting duct tape over someone's mouth.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you keep the duct tape off and can listen, you can get those results that you're looking for. So speaking of that, tell me, I mentioned briefly in the beginning, you know, about your migraines, but just give us the little 2-second synopsis of, you know, then compared to now, how life looks different.
Yeah, it's way different. Yeah, like I said, I was having daily headaches, daily pain, really frequent migraines, you know, just kind of impacting my life, you know, crying, laying on the couch, the whole thing. Now I don't feel that, right? If I do get headaches, they're more around my cycle, which I'm trying to kind of figure out how to manage that. And they're so much less intense, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, they're like a 3 or a 4. And those are like the worst ones. Whereas I was having like 9s and 10s. So it's so different now. So it's maybe once or twice a month that I'm having head pain. I don't even like really want to call it a migraine at this point, because it's not like that severity. but I know it is a migraine.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah. So no, they're so much better. And I just wake up, I feel good. I can like just get up and go and like start my day. It's so different.
Absolutely. It's because you're giving your body that time to heal, right? We
Yeah.
talk about this all the time, that migraine freedom, it doesn't happen overnight. No one's here to give you a BS story. Anyone watching that, you join a program and it goes away in 2 seconds. It doesn't. There's work
Right.
involved, there's changes involved, but they're wonderful shifts that you can make for life, so that not only do you get rid of your migraine pain, but you also can really feel good.
Yeah.
Really just feel great. I'm 52 now, and I can tell you that I feel 100% different and better than I did when I was 32.
Yeah.
At 32, I felt like I was 80. 52, I kind of feel like I'm 32, which is
Nice.
kind of
That's
nice.
perfect.
And it sounds like that's the way you're feeling, and we're going to get
Yeah.
you even closer and closer.
Yeah. I know that like I'm still making progress, right? So I don't
Yep.
feel frustrated if I do get a headache, right? Because I think before you just feel so miserable and like there's no way out, right?
Right.
But now like I know, okay, right, you have a headache, you have a migraine. Okay, but like I know what to do to make it better. I know how to take care of myself, and it's not lasting the way it lasted, right? And it just, I have all the tools and I feel great about that.
I love it. I love it. Man, I could sit here and talk about this all day,
I
but
know.
instead, I'm going to check comments really quick. And why I check comments, is there anything that you would like to share with the almost 3,000 women we have in this group right now that are feeling a little hopeless? Again, if you kind of took a look at the group in the last couple of days, there's been quite a few posts of women that are just, they're lost. They're like, we've tried it all, we've done it all, we're struggling. Again, that's why the rosemary post went so well. And why, so many people are just grasping at straws. And we don't want you to feel you have to grasp at straws, anyone in this group, you don't have to. So what would you say to those women right now who are just really struggling?
I would say that the freedom from migraine method works. Like it works. So it's worth it. It's worth the investment in yourself. You have to commit, right? You have to be prepared to put in some work and take care of yourself. But there's a great community behind you to help you do that. And there's so much information and so many resources that it's worth it. Like if you're sitting there in pain, that's not how we should be living our lives. And like, I did that, right? And I feel so much better. So it's 100% worth it.
I'm so glad to hear that. And you were able to do it with 3 kids. And I will correct myself again, 3 kids under 10.
Yes.
Didn't mean to say 3 kids under 3.
That's crazy.
that would be a little more nutty than what I thought it was. But anyway, still, 3 boys, active boys, you work, you have a household that you're taking care of. And if you're able to do it, doing all that, so is anybody else in this group. So ladies, if you are watching and you have questions, please let us know in the chat. I just lost my feed on the phone, so I can't get to questions now. But if you do have questions, I know Barbie is over there. You can tag myself, or if it's okay, Christine, if they have questions for you, is it okay if they tag you?
Sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We've got Sandy watching now. Susan's watching. Amber is on. Hey, Amber, how you doing? We got the whole team on over there. Everybody's over there supporting us. Wonderful. Well, Christine, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you giving back and giving hope to the women who are really struggling right now.
Sure. I hope it helps.
I'm sure it will. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thanks so much for hearing Christine's story. We will be back with you. I believe we're back with you again this week. We are Thursday. Month am I in? February, Thursday, February 17th. Shelley is actually going to join us at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share her story. So make sure you tune in and hear that. For those in the UK that night, my apologies. You can catch the replay the next morning because obviously it'll be pretty late for you. But anyway, we love having you here. Thank you again, Christine. Here's to your migraine-free day, everyone, and we'll see you in the group. Take care.
Bye.